welcome to another episode where we'll be looking at cognitive walkthrough and heuristic evaluation. Now, what we would like to know is these are two ways um, to review an existing product, and they all fall under expert review. So, if you're in a place whereby you don't have where you don't have advanced usability testing tools, or yeah, your product is having issues, usability issues. This is a very low cost method to apply, and it's very, very, very effective considering the process we're taking for working on this case study. So it's expert review is a way of evaluating an existing product. You know, um, you can evaluate the product, you can evaluate the feature, and it's very quick. You don't need to go in depth. You just more like see the product as it is and evaluate it. And there are two ways to go through it, and that's the cognitive walkthrough, which is looking at the product like your users, like your personas, and you have heuristic evaluation whereby you use UX guidelines um to define the issues and come up with reasonable solutions for them. So cognitive walkthrough is a method where you look at the product as see if you're the user, and now we have persona. So we have a target audience and how to look at the product. So basically, it's just picking a primary group, and we've already created a primary group of users, personas that have issues working out their transaction history. So we've already done that. So we have to imagine ourselves as those kind of people trying to complete the tasks that we highlighted they're trying to do. So would the heuristic evaluation part is to review kick screens. That's when you now bring your knowledge as a designer to map out certain issues that might be confusing to the users. And what we do is analyze and put our reports together of what we found. So for the heuristic evaluation, there are things to look out for as a designer, and that's we have like 10 metrics and 10 things to look out for. We have the visibility of system status, which is to keep users informed on what's going on. What's the feedback? Can they process the page they are looking at? And we have match between system and real world. Means are you speaking the user's language or phrase? And we have things like back, proceed, cancel, all those kind of things. Do you use them, or you are using automate, or there are certain types of users. Like if you are building a robust system for an organization, you can use things like authorize, but you cannot building a normal user application and be writing authorize. You could things like proceed, complete, confirm, things that they know. And next one is user control and freedom, and that's when um they can leave. That's when they perform actions by mistake. So how can they return from an action that they didn't want to perform? Maybe they clicked something by error and they go back to the place without going back to the extended process, going back to the beginning and all that, whether you can easily just fix an issue. So these are key factors. Consistency and standards. Users should not have to wonder whether different word situational action mean the same thing. Follow a pattern and industry convention. So there's something I always um look at, and I always use a particular example for this kind of thing. Have you seen a like icon, right? So if you notice a like icon on a social media platform, it means to like something or save something. But if you notice the same like icon used a on a shopping cart, or an online platform or e-commerce platform, you find out that that icon is actually to save what you want to buy. So there's a lot of similarities, but the behaviors are different. You cannot create a like icon to share. There are certain things that um give, or create a complete button to cancel. There are some standards your system has to follow, or create a back button that returns to the first stage instead of the last stage. So there are certain behaviors and standards that you should maintain. Error prevention. A good error message are important, but the best designs carefully prevent errors, problems from occurring in the first place. Either eliminate error prone conditions or check for them. So, have you seen a situation whereby you want to delete something and they ask you, are you sure you want to complete do this? In case it's a mistake and you're giving like a part to like one last chance to look at is this what you want to remove. So these parts are usually used when a serious action is about to take place or you're about to send something to someone. They tell you, are you sure you're ready? All those kind of things so that you don't fall into them. Errors are likely things that users will make. So it's our job to like try and prevent as much as possible. Yeah. Recognition rather than recall. Minimize the user's memory load by maintaining element actions and options visible. The user should not have to remember informations from one part of the interface to another. So, information required. So, field labels or menu items should be visible and easily traceable when needed. So, in this kind of scenario, we're looking at whereby um, you have there are some things you see if you go into um, any application, let's say an Instagram application, you know that the pictures depict people's posts. It's simple. Okay, let me try another example. Okay, let's use the like button now. So now, recognition rather than recall. When you enter an e-commerce platform and you see the like button, you can see that automatically you know what that is, to like or save an item. Now, if you enter an e-commerce feature and see a thumbs up button, now maybe someone can come up with the idea of a thumbs up. It will take the user to test out that fact rather than, oh, where is the like button? Because the user might pause for a minute and be looking for the like button and find out, oh, there's a thumbs up button on each item. Now, in that case, that user is trying to re- um, that user is trying to find, is trying to recognize the item that, oh, what feels like a like button. So instead of doing that, the user is supposed to know that, oh, the heart sign is the like button. So that's what he needs. So those are ways you could fine tune. That's why they say do not change some standards too much. You just have to maintain this thing. The user should be able to recognize that this is a like button. Actually, it's recognized that this is meant to be. To recognize that this is a like button and this is what it's meant for, rather than, oh, on this platform, the thumbs up is usually the. So it's like for your own app, he has to think the way you design the app, not standards. For example, if you open a fintech application now and you have a card with the account balance and you have like an I sign, automatically you know that that I sign is to hide the amount. So you recognize that that I sign is to hide the amount. But what if um, someone did it and they put something else? Maybe they put a hand sign. You will have to know that, oh, on this app, the hand sign is to hide the amount when many apps, the hand sign is, those kind of things. So flexibility and efficiency of use, shortcuts hitting from novice may speed up the interaction for experts. So in all your designs, there's like some things you do for telling people that are already familiar with your app, and it's kind of different from the way people that do like normal users will just come in for the first time. So those things are part of the things you do. Aesthetics and minimalistic design. I think this is the one most designers, put interesting. The interface should contain information relevant, not relevant and needed, not things that are overworked. It should be able to um, every extra unit of information in an interface competes relevant units of information and diminishes its relative visibility. So what is trying to say is if you load the page with too many things, you're adding cognitive load. Part of the things you want to do is when you come into an interface, when your users come into an interface, they shouldn't need to think too much. They should know this is for this, is for this, is for this, is for this, and carry out the actions as quick as possible. Now we have help users recognize, diagnose, and recover from errors. Error message should be expressed in plain languages, not error codes. Now, a couple of developers, or a couple of products usually use the error code gotten from their development tools. You should try and tweak that. Shouldn't be saying 422 error. What does 422 error mean to the user? You can, that's why people do like, oh, please, we cannot do this at this time, try again later. Should make it very understandable. There are some that use, oh, it's not you, it's us, those kind of things to, be rest assured that the user always know that, okay, what this is the situation of things. Help and documentation. Now, even though it's not advised to um, create documentation, but there are some cases whereby documentation is important. If you are building like a robust system, like maybe for an organization, and you need to manage certain set of users, and you need the user to know his responsibility and know how to do them. In those cases, you might need to create help manuals and all those things to assist them. By thinking what we do for natural users is just FAQ. So FAQ is like a go-to place if you're having challenges for normal users, but if you're building more robust system for organizations that would require a specific way of doing things, you might be using manuals and stuff like that. Now here is the way I do my heuristic evaluation and stuff like that. So I have like a mock-up for mobile views, I have a mock-up for web views or tab views, and this is where I highlight some of the major um things to look out for. So in case you have them, you can put the screen here. You look at what the issues are here. You hide the other ones that are not available. You write the issues based on what's on the screen and you put your recommendations here. So you're doing like a straight up documentation. I'm going to show you in the next episode how I use this on our projects. So please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions, you can leave that on the comments. And I'll see you in our next episode.